Fans are already predicting another major match in 2026, so we'll see what that's about. We'll also check out what's going on with John Cena, Stephanie, and more. Starting things off with this major 2026 match that a lot of fans think they can see coming. And it does make sense considering the recent trend with Gunther. 2025 was a year full of ups and downs for Gunther in WWE. At multiple points throughout the year, he held the World Heavyweight title on 2 separate occasions. But he also lost the World Heavyweight title on 2 of the biggest stages of the WWE calendar year. One of those times being to Jey Uso at WrestleMania, and the other being to CM Punk at SummerSlam. But despite those 2 massive world title losses, Gunther also had 2 massive matches in which he retired some all-time greats in the wrestling industry. That was a retirement match against Goldberg in July, and the other retirement match against John Cena just a few months later in December. So fans are starting to wonder if these 2 retirement matches are creating a certain niche for Gunther's WWE character. Does WWE want Gunther to take on this persona of being the final opponent, the final boss, for these all-time great superstars that are coming towards the end of their careers? Will Gunther start to embrace the fact that he really did retire both Goldberg and John Cena? Will those 2 retirement matches make him strive to do it again? And look for the next big star to send home and add to his list of retirement matches that he's beginning to pile up. Fans feel like that definitely could be a nice gimmick and narrative being created for Gunther. And what makes his story and direction seem possible to continue going into 2026 is the fact that we already know a confirmed retirement that's happening in 2026, and that's the retirement of AJ Styles. AJ has made it fully known to everyone that 2026 is his final year in the wrestling ring. This fact has been mentioned on WWE television itself, so it's real and it is happening. 2026 will be the final in-ring year for AJ Styles. AJ is yet to give a time frame on when specifically in the year he plans on retiring, but he gave hints that he'll probably wrap things up before SummerSlam 2026. So the date and time of his last match in 2026 itself is still up in the air, but knowing their new obsession of putting Gunther in retirement matches, this has fans already predicting and assuming that Gunther will be AJ's final opponent in his retirement match during 2026. AJ Styles could be the perfect contender that Gunther is hunting for. After what happened with Goldberg and John Cena, Gunther heads into 2026 wanting to do it again. And with AJ Styles approaching his final match, that catches Gunther's attention. He wants the final match with AJ Styles to add it to the list of superstars he retired. If Gunther actually gets it done, now he'll be the man that retired Goldberg, John Cena, and AJ Styles. 3 of the most iconic names in modern history of the industry. Gunther will be collecting these retirement matches like Infinity Stones, and only building himself up to seem even more mythical with all these big retirement matches. If they go that route, maybe it does really set the stage for an even bigger retirement match down the road. Some fans are even discussing the idea of taking this narrative for Gunther and plugging into a feud with Randy Orton, because Randy went through a phase like that in his own career. There was an era there early in Randy's career where he was known as the Legend Killer, and how he would purposely target the older all-time greats that were still active in the ring with the sole intention of taking them out for good. So fans think it would be an interesting program to see the original Legend Killer, Randy Orton, going up against Gunther, someone who's a few years younger than him and is now starting to do the same sort of act. Not to mention that it would sort of be a poetic full circle moment and basically karma for Randy Orton's character. Just a few decades ago, he was a superstar that was targeting the legends on the roster, looking to take them out and make a name for himself. And now, a few decades later, Randy Orton is the legend himself, who is a target on his back and is dealing with someone who's doing the same very similar thing to what he was doing back in the day. So for Randy Orton to live through what he put other legends through back in the day, it does sound like an amazing full circle story there for Randy to really soak in the magnitude of these actions and really put himself in the shoes of the legends that he hurt back then. Fans are mixed with Gunther being John Cena's final opponent, but if they use it to send Gunther into the next level of looking to retire AJ Styles, Randy Orton, and so on, it could be an interesting character arc and route to take. And it could work because you look around, and there's a lot of all-time greats on the roster right now that are in their mid to late 40s. So there are a handful of big stars that can fit this narrative here of Gunther wanting to put them out and retire them. Brock Lesnar is another great example that could also be someone in Gunther's crosshairs. Maybe the thought of retiring Brock Lesnar and being Brock's final opponent is something that intrigues Gunther's character, and that could also be another long-term goal for him right there, to eventually work towards a retirement match against Brock Lesnar. So the narrative is surely there. We'll just have to see if WWE will really lean into this retirement hunter direction for Gunther, because there could be a lot of great matches, stories, and feuds to pull from in a direction like that. With John Cena stressing so much and putting a lot of emphasis on December 13th being the final day of his WWE career, that has fans wondering, what exactly does he mean by that? And if we'll truly never see him again on WWE television following his final match. Well, John Cena did clear up some of that during a recent interview with Bill Simmons. John Cena explained that he will be making his WWE appearances in the future past his retirement match, but the biggest noticeable change will be that he'll never wear the jean shorts again. If WWE calls him up for any cameo television appearance, John Cena promises he'll be in a suit and tie and will not be wearing the jean shorts, baseball cap, or his shirts. That looks like the era of John Cena goes away on December 13th. What John Cena is saying there does sound very similar to what we've seen The Undertaker do in recent years. The Undertaker retired his iconic hat and coat following his 2020 retirement and vowed to never wear it again. The Undertaker has made several WWE appearances since retiring, but has not worn the coat or hat since that part of him is retired. So it seems like that's the same type of approach we can expect here from John Cena. We'll see him again from time to time making appearances, but he's not coming out there in a t-shirt and jean shorts. That look and era is officially over and won't be seen ever again. A little topic amongst the community in recent weeks has been the questionable usage of both world champions in the women's division. Over the last few weeks, we discussed the rough situation Jade Cargill's title reign is in, since there's literally no credible challengers at all for her to face on Smackdown. But we haven't really taken a look at how things are going over on Raw for the women's world heavyweight champion, Stephanie Vaquer. And Stephanie's situation doesn't seem much better than what Jade Cargill is dealing with right now. But fans have pointed out that there's been a few weeks of Raw in recent memory where Stephanie has a little role or no role at all on the show as a women's world champion, and how the women of the tag team division get more time, story, and matches than Stephanie does. And that's a fair point from the fans. You've got the women of the Judgment Day being prominently featured. You've got Alexa and Charlotte competing a lot on both Raw and SmackDown, but not much time is given to the women's world champion herself. So that is something that fans are monitoring, but they did give a quick tease backstage confirmation between Stephanie and Liv Morgan a few weeks ago, so hopefully that is a good sign that the big programs are on the way for Stephanie after all. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below, don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.